Let's get right into it. Number 10. Eating just about anything. Imagine it, hunger hits so hard your usual rules just walk out the door. Not missing a meal type of empty. The deep kind, when your mind stares at a boot and wonders, well, animals made that. Here stands a place inside the mind people have walked into again and again across ages. Starvation changes how you think. Suddenly it does not matter what tastes good or seems proper. That quiet voice inside that worries about manners goes silent. Instead something louder kicks in. Getting energy becomes the only mission. All other concerns get pushed aside. This system runs on urgency, not choice. It demands fuel without delay. Boiling belts came down to hunger, nothing more. Chewing on tree bark made sense when there was nothing else. Grinding bones into broth kept some alive. Wallpaper paste turned out to be edible. Adventure had nothing to do with it. The body needs glucose to function. Once levels drop too far, thinking changes. Decisions shift toward survival, like a mind bargaining with itself past midnight. Your gut isn't fooled by labels like food or just eatable junk. What matters? Calories versus poison. Pass the danger check, get eaten, simple math. Hunger changes what the brain wants. Survivors of long hunger often fixate not on taste but texture. Slick, thick, chewable stuff. Fat feels safe. Flavor fades. The body stops caring how something tastes when staying alive is the only goal. Here is what feels unsettling. When the mind realizes a thing that isn't food helped it survive, that memory sticks around. People who lived through severe starvation often say they still feel driven to chew on ice, paper, or bits of plastic. It has nothing to do with enjoyment. Deep down, some part recalls, this kept us breathing. Hunger rarely sparks new ideas. Instead, it forces harsh choices just to survive. Long ago, people did not try new foods out of curiosity. Faced with starvation, they struck uneasy deals with their own bodies and often lost. Funny how a damp sandwich can upset you so much. That calm mind of yours behaves nicely just because it has had food. Skip meals too often and suddenly even chairs look tasty. Number 9. Eating the unthinkable. It never wins favor. Time after time, it gets rejected. Straight up, your mind resists it too. Yet hunger has pushed people past boundaries most today pretend are invisible. Biology treats cannibalism like an escape hatch. Culture does not make it curious here. Once fat stores vanish and muscle becomes fuel, metabolism spirals into crisis. Shutdowns ripple through organs. The immune system goes offline. Survival takes total control in the brain. Moral revulsion fades first. When hunger wins, even disgust gets erased. Strange how precise hunger can make people. When starved, minds do not snap. They turn sharp, methodical. Stories from lost ships, trapped armies, locked cities show groups setting rules, using chance, postponing until someone dies on their own. This isn't chaos, it's reason clinging to structure while doing what deep down feels forbidden. Your mind labels it recovery through protein. Tissue works like tissue, no matter what kind. Energy counts as energy, nothing hidden there. Right and wrong fade into silence when staying alive takes over completely. It wasn't like folks just bounced back once things settled. Many lived with deep scars, not due to wrongdoing, but simply from being alive through it. The mind did what was needed to survive, yet later had to face the weight of that choice. Strange how it works. That mind calling cannibalism monstrous? Same one allowing it when hunger bites deep. Morality never got a circuit breaker. Survival did. When hunger nags at your ribs, kindness slips away. Picture yourself centuries back. No grocery stores. Bones worn thin by winter. Your high ground? It crumbles without breakfast. Warmth, food, sleep, those shape what feels right. Judging them serves nothing. Comfort lets you afford outrage. Take that offline sometimes. Famine doesn't turn the mind into something wild. Instead, it shifts toward numbers, weighing each bite against how long a body might last. Future days bought at nearly any price. Number 8. Hoarding food obsessions. Picture living through hunger so severe that even years later, a half-empty refrigerator sets off alarms inside your head. You made it through, yet now peace feels fragile when shelves aren't full. Surprise, your mind picked up an odd survival reflex along the way. Hunger leaves scars even after meals return. Recovery of the body moves quicker than healing of thought. Staying hungry too long teaches the brain a single lesson: block starvation at any cost. Makes sense unless it twists into lasting fear around eating, uncontrollable stockpiling, or treating crackers like kin. Long after famine ended, some couldn't let go of food worries. Scientists saw it again and again: bread stashed beneath beds, pantries stuffed past need, spoiled items kept just in case. A late dinner could spark real panic. It wasn't about being hungry anymore. The mind remembered scarcity as threat, mistaking bare shelves for alarm bells. When you go without food, your brain's control center learns to expect less. That area handling hunger and energy shifts into survival mode. Meals turn less about fuel, more about safety. Stocked shelves feel less like comfort, more like a shield against what might come. Extreme dieting often leads to strange reactions. Starve yourself enough, suddenly the mind shifts into survival mode. Instead of feeling proud, it feels under attack. A threatened mind clings to resources, so thoughts fill with food. Menus take over conversations days early. Eating turns frantic, as if chasing a ghost at the table. What unsettles most is not piling up meals. It's clinging to command. Hunger shows people that eating means surviving. When that truth takes hold, the mind does not delete it entirely. Instead, it turns down the sound and waits quietly. Funny thing happens when your hand lingers too long near that spare granola bar. Turns out, deep down, you're wired like someone who thinks disaster could strike before lunch ends. Number 7. Eating fast like it'll vanish. Watch someone gulp down food like it could vanish any second. No chewing slowly. No pausing between bites. Just one mouthful after another. This rush isn't about being rude. It's what happens when hunger once ruled every meal. Empty stomachs teach speed more than etiquette ever did. Famine teaches the mind fast: wait too long. Someone grabs what's yours. Missing out sticks harder than hunger itself. That tension rewires instinct. Chew before chance disappears. Survival isn't patient. It swallows quick. Folks who knew hunger as youngsters often carry a mark that's easy to spot. Research tracking children without steady access to food reveals how they tend to gulp down meals, barely chewing, rarely registering satisfaction like others do. Survival wired their minds around one harsh idea: grab it fast before it vanishes. What happens next might surprise you. When food goes down too quickly, it skips the body's stop signs. The gut has to signal fullness to the mind, yet that takes minutes. Brains shaped by hunger won't pause for updates. They expect loss. That expectation silences satisfaction, pushing intake forward. Your mind links worry to lack, real or imagined. So when pressure hits, snacks become urgent, like they vanished yesterday. It isn't hunger, more like your mouth racing ahead of thought. The trigger? A message on screen, not empty shelves. Still, you chew fast as if fullness proves safety. Meals weren't meant to be savored. Staying alive through sudden disruptions was the real goal. Paying attention while chewing? That came much later. Back then, dinner showed up without warning, and vanished just as fast, often by force. Funny how speed eating isn't really about rushing at all. Comfort feels fleeting, so your body acts like nourishment might vanish by tomorrow. The real reason? A quiet belief deep down: safety won't last. Neither will food. Back then, people didn't lack manners. They just saw things differently. What seemed harsh was often clarity dressed in honesty. Number 6. Ignoring hunger until it's extreme. Odd as it seems, going without food taught people a strange lesson. It made them doubt their own hunger cues. Over time, they just stopped listening. Once meals get spotty, the mind starts expecting hunger without reward. It stops reacting right away, holding back urgency until there's no choice but to act. The ache fades into the everyday hum, just part of the air now, not a trigger. People stuck without enough food for long stretches sometimes say they just stop eating, not by mistake, but because their body stops caring. The brain treats hunger signals like background noise when meals never show up. When there is no meal coming, needing one feels pointless. Hormones shift when ghrelin fades into the background, that signal telling you it's time to eat, while cortisol steps up its activity. Not craving food becomes normal. Instead, exhaustion shows up, mood turns sharp, thinking feels slow, and bodily awareness slips sideways like a loose thread. It hits without notice, extreme hunger. One moment nothing, next a wave. Not gradual, sharp, insistent. The mind ignored softer signals before, learned they changed nothing. So now it shouts instead. Bizarrely, full fridges don't always stop it. When meals were once hard to find, bodies learned to ignore signals. Now eating feels strange, even when food is everywhere. When you go from saying, "I'm okay," to wanting to chew on wall plaster real fast, it isn't broken. It's your body reacting like danger is the only time food matters. Hunger once taught your gut what to do. That knowledge sticks around. Number 5. Eating alone and quietly. Foods once shared in silence now carry silent plans behind each bite. Hunger changes everything. A shared meal might invite trouble instead of warmth. Others watch when food appears. That gaze brings risk close. People began slipping into corners to eat, moving fast, saying nothing. Quiet did not mean respect. It meant staying hidden. Meals looked different among those struggling to survive. Some sat apart, arms curled around plates like shields. I stayed down, never meeting anyone else's. This wasn't impolite, it served a purpose. Togetherness started feeling risky. Seeing someone chew could twist the gut. When empty stomachs grow loud, every bite feels claimed. Meals can seem risky when the brain has known hunger. Alertness kicks in, driven by a region tuned to threats. This part, the amygdala, refuses to stand down. Chewing becomes tense, like being watched. Some now avoid sharing food moments, choosing solitude instead. Reasons stay hidden, just felt. That is part of why overeating tends to happen alone. Long ago, eating where others could see brought danger, criticism, having food taken, being exposed. Now the mind still holds on to that fear. When no one else is around, the body finally lets go and eats fast, like there's no time to spare. Strange how deep it runs, this way of eating passed down through time. Long after hunger fades, some homes still serve meals in silence. No jokes, no music, nothing left on the plate. A full belly once meant another day alive, so joy feels out of place at the table. Survival shaped every bite, even when danger was gone. Now here's a thought. Eating solo in quiet isn't about pushing people away. It's following old instincts. Food matters, safety counts. Silence keeps risk low. Your mind might not treat supper like just supper. At times, it treats the meal like a guard duty. Number 4. Refusing to waste anything. A single speck left behind on the dish, not waste at all, counts as something usable instead. Hunger taught people to despise wasting, deep in their bones. Not through ethics, through survival wiring. In times when every bite counts, tossing out a meal hits like harming yourself on purpose. The mind treats discarded food much like it does something stolen or gone. Watching food thrown away can hit hard when you have known hunger. It is not irritation, not regret either. A deeper unease takes hold. The mind links lost meals to survival threats. Empty shelves once taught that lesson well. When the mind fixates on what it might lose, that is loss aversion at work. Hunger sharpens this reaction even more. Food carries deeper meaning beyond energy. It stands for survival held in reserve. Wasting a meal can spark brain activity like that scene when someone loses a prized object. So many folks guard leftover meals like treasure, wipe every bit off their dishes, even if it means eating old food just to avoid waste. This same urge made meal portions balloon through time when famines ended and stability returned. When scarcity fades, the mind pushes hard to stash energy, either piling up on dinnerware or settling into hips and belly. Here's where things shift. What once kept people alive today pushes them to eat too much. A full plate once meant survival. Now it just sits there, untouched but cleaned anyway. Hunger signals get ignored, overridden by older instincts. Empty containers feel wrong, like a mistake was made. The body stores what it can, expecting scarcity that never arrives. Finishing meals isn't about desire, it's automatic, drilled deep. Leftovers used to be rare, so tossing them feels wasteful on a cellular level. Safety now looks like excess, yet the mind resists letting go. Your system works just fine, it simply runs on older software. Built by ages of too little, our bodies still treat food like it might vanish. That urge to clean your plate? It echoes hunger long gone when stopping meant risk. Fear kept our forebears from squandering. Waste was never just loss, it felt like danger. Number 3. Choosing calories over nutrition. Hunger changes what sounds good. When empty, rich tastes win over greens. Facing hunger made people chase food that packed a punch per bite. Survival isn't about nutrients that sound good on paper. It's about what powers the body right away. Think oils, sugars, starches, heavy-hitting sources that deliver quick results. Tomorrow depends on them. When people go very hungry, their minds fixate on high-calorie options. This explains why those who lived through starvation still want fatty, sweet, or heavy carbohydrate meals years later. Survival rewired their thinking. Energy-dense food meant staying alive. A rush of dopamine hits harder after going without, especially from rich, heavy meals. When food was scarce before, the mind learns to hold tight to fats and sweets like they kept you alive. This isn't just liking them, it's how survival wiring sticks. The brain marks these calories as emergency reserves, slow to let go even when times change. This happens because pressure makes folks reach for sugary snacks. When tension builds, it tricks the body like hunger does. Hormones change, cortisol climbs, insulin adjusts. Then the mind craves quick fuel instead of steady nourishment. Back then, this behavior helped people survive harsh times. Getting enough nutrients only happened when life settled down. Mostly, staying alive came down to food that packed the biggest energy punch with every mouthful. That time your mind skips the label and grabs high-calorie food? Not laziness. It's following a built-in code shaped by near-starvation days. Your mind does not fail at diets. It succeeds wildly at keeping you alive. What seems like weakness is actually strength in disguise. Survival wins every time. Number 2. Distrusting abundance. Imagine stepping into a buffet right after years without enough food. Your mind does not say, "Look at all these choices. This feels off." The mind raises a question. Famine left its mark on people. Plenty does not last. Spotting too much food at once? The mind won't slow down. Instead, it races ahead. A quiet fear kicks in. This moment might end fast. Someone could grab it first. Or the supply just disappears. That's what happens when someone has known real hunger before. Full shelves make them tense, not glad. Now comes the push inside. Consume fast. Grab extra. Hold on tight, it could vanish. To their body, plenty feels less like luck, more like a clock ticking down. What you're feeling isn't greed, it's a reflex built long ago. When meals came without warning, they also vanished fast. The mind adapted by staying alert when things seem steady. Quiet times register as suspicious. Safety smells like setup. This is why folks eat too much at holiday meals, pile food on plates at diners without thinking, grow tense when festivities start. Joy isn't what lights up their minds. It's the instinct to grab chance when danger looms nearby. Oddly enough, minds shaped by hunger may ache with guilt at the sight of full plates. Fullness seems wrong somehow, like a threat, maybe even a sin. Long ago, feasting while neighbors went empty meant trouble later. Now joy and worry tangle without warning. What happens next feels automatic, as if plenty must be punished until it's gone. It has nothing to do with joy, more like doubt living deep inside your head. Ever feel tense around endless snacks? That feeling isn't ungrateful. It's your body bracing for something going wrong. Feast? The mind treats it like a temporary glitch. Famine feels familiar, so it gets believed first. Trust leans toward lack every time. Number 1. Teaching the next generation to fear hunger. This one sticks around longer than the rest, it spreads past your own actions. What begins quietly keeps moving outward. Out of nowhere, survival habits began traveling through families, hand to mouth. These weren't written in DNA, yet they stuck just as deep. When adults had gone without, they showed kids how to gulp meals, scrape bowls bare, treat scraps like treasure, and stay uneasy around quiet pantries. Long after full fridges arrived. Not intentionally, automatically, a child watches how adults act around meals. Full plates get pushed aside like they're too much. Every crumb saved, every bite tracked. Quiet gestures teach more than words ever could. Stopping early feels wrong when others keep eating. Behavior passes down through silence. That pattern passing down through families? Experts label it learned scarcity. The parent's mind stuck on survive mode shapes their actions. The kid's nervous system logs each move like vital data. It trusts those habits must serve some hidden purpose. Hunger leaves traces that show up later, carried in routines, voices, boundaries, even how feelings unfold. What we eat gains weight beyond calories, carries mood, meaning, tension. Control takes root where feeding should happen. Funny thing is, what kept you safe before might now stir up trouble. Eating gone off track, worry that sticks, shame after meals, mixed signals when your stomach talks. Fear gets passed down like a story missing its beginning. Here's where it gets interesting. Doing this every day made people tougher. Over time, they learned how to get ready ahead of time, save what mattered, yet still push through hard moments. Those uneasy feelings around meals? They were part of a deeper pattern that helped whole groups make it through tough times. What's unsettling isn't how people picked up these behaviors. It's that they actually got results. Your food choices are never just chance. Shaped by ages of scraping by, surviving close calls with starvation. Deep inside, your body holds memories your mind has forgotten. Each time eating feels strange, a quiet message hums inside your mind. Safety isn't promised for the next day. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.